What's up, YouTube? My name is Sean and welcome to my new channel, Watermans Edge. The reason I'm starting this channel is I spend a lot of time on the water, crabbing, fishing. I live in Charleston, South Carolina, so weather permitting, we get a lot of good days out on the water. And I'm going to be starting a restoration here on my boat, so I thought I'd take you through that process, and once this is ready, we'll hit the water and start doing some fun stuff out there. I plan on getting a kayak, and we'll do some spear fishing most likely. I used to be a competitive spear fisherman out in California, so bringing that all here, bringing it to you, figured I'm making the content, I might as well share it with others. Hopefully there's some useful stuff. First project though is to get this 2003 Pro Sports ProKat catamaran. It's a 20-foot center console, and I've had it for about a year and a half. Used it quite a bit, and now it's time to just kind of overhaul the whole thing. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to be adding stuff. So let's get to it. I'll give you a walk around of what this project is going to be. If you like stuff like this and want to see where this is going to go, I encourage you to subscribe. Click that notify button so you know we're going to try to release videos weekly, maybe more than a week, maybe more than one a week as time permits and weather, and I can work on the boat. And probably just do some, maybe even get out sooner than then. I want to test out the crabbing to see when that really fires off here. Most of the crabbing I did last year was in the summer and the fall. Same with the fishing. I did some spring fishing. But let's get started. I'll give you a quick walk around. We'll show you what we're going to do and where we're going with this thing. All right? So here's the boat in its entirety. It's definitely was not so well taken care of by the previous owner. That's why I'm doing this refresh, restoration, if you will. But I'm not going to go over things in the order I'm going to do them, but let's start from the ground up. First thing is this tongue was replaced and it's too short. And that causes me to have to back the Jeep in much farther than I should. In fact, it got my rotors, and the saltwater over the year, I had to replace my rotors, and that was a mess. So we're going to get a new tongue, new coupler, new chains, all that stuff. That's all going to be redone. The lighting is all shot, so that's actually been stripped out except for removing the rear lights. So we're going to do new lighting, new guideposts with lights on top of the guideposts, new marker lights. I'm going to do direct runs of tinned marine wire all the way up to the front here from all of the connections with marine grade connections, tin connections, up to a junction box, and they will all go into that junction box. Eventually I'm going to get a new winch. That's pretty shot, but that's from the trailer side of things. I'm probably just going to, I had new hubs put on about a year ago, but I think since I'm going to do everything, they're going to get done too. I'm going to do new bunks. This has 4 2x6 by 11 foot bunks, and then these have sliders on them. They're going to get redone as well. I do have a CNC machine, so I'm probably going to swap out the HDPE with PVC to get that done. On the rear here, I'm going to do trim tabs. We're going to do 12 by 4 inch shallow mount, so I clear the ladder. And my tie down was on this eyelet here, so that has to, I got to add another one over here. So I'm going to get 2 brand new ones, drill new holes, put those in, and then my new straps that'll get mounted more in the center so that they clear the transducer and stuff like that. Then the graphics are getting removed. I already did this side. I used one of those rubber wheels, came off pretty easily, just time consuming. Probably going to remove these other 2 graphics. I found aftermarket replacements. If I want to put new ones on, I can actually get different colors as well. So I'll see how it looks stripped down. And then there is a little bit of a shine to it. It was compounded last year lightly. I think I'm going to hit this whole thing with a wet sand though, a quick wet sand, just light. Maybe try to blend this from the graphics, and then we're going to do a heavy cut compound. We're going to do a polish and then a wax. I'm going to use Stark Yacht products for that, with the level R as the heavy cut, and then the finish R for the polishing, and then not sure which wax I'm going to use yet. So that's kind of the outside of the boat. If we look at the bilge area, I've already started stripping stuff out. So we're going to new bilges on both sides. I'm having an issue taking this out. The shutoff valve here is seized and it won't let me spin this off, but that has to get replaced as well. I've been spraying that with PB Blaster. So hoping that starts to free up. all new clamps, probably replace most of these hoses. So that's on the port side. And then on the starboard side is easier, new bilge. I also have to do something with this through hole because it's below the water line, and I'm not sure if that's Marilon or plastic. It had just a PVC shutoff valve on it, which is unacceptable. This definitely was not built to ABYC standards, but I got to figure that out, so we'll deal with that in a bit. But that's the outside. Let's hop topside and I'll show you that. Oh, we're going to do a new ladder too, because as you can see, this is getting pretty rusted and old. So yeah, let's jump up topside and I'll show you what we're going to do there. So starting from the front, all the wiring's has already been removed, most of it. We've got to do new nav lights because one of them was cracked. I'm going to try to fill some of these holes with gel coat. As you can see, there was two different trolling motors on here. They're probably going to be tough to fill, but eventually I'm going to put a new trolling motor on, but the cost is starting to add up quickly. I'm going to do a wet sand for all the sides. All the non-skid will just get heavy cut compounded. Then we've got for the center console, the first thing I've done, I've already stripped a lot of this stuff out, so all the wiring's out. All we have left is the main harness and, you know, our steering and shifter, stuff like that. Everything else has been removed. I stripped down the console. I'm having a hard time getting the steering wheel off. It's seized on there. I tried the hammer method. That didn't work, so I have to get a puller and try to get this pulled off because I want to pull that. I'm going to fill all these holes on the side. So I've already actually prepped. They're already countersunk and prepped and drilled out. The top and the face is all going to get redone with acrylic or starboard, and probably a combination. I actually have a top plate that I was using already out of starboard, but we're going to make that all look nice. New switch panels. I'm going to do stereo. This doesn't have a stereo, so right now I've been using this EcoX gear, which works great, and for fishing it's better because you get less vibration, but I am going to put a full stereo system in here. So that's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 Fusion Signature Series 7.7 RGBs with probably going to go with a Fusion 670 head unit, and I have a JL Audio brand new 4-channel amp for it, and then new VHF. Our box up here is clean. I may mount the VHF up here, haven't decided yet, but yeah, as you can see, all the wiring stripped out. So the next step I got to do is scrape all this paint peeling. I'm going to hit all this with some mold and mildew remover, get all this cleaned up. I may paint it white. Haven't decided yet. We'll see how much actually scrapes off. And then new fuel sender wires. So my fuel's there, and I have access to the other one over there. I can take care of that. Deciding what to do with all these old holes. I have no idea what was there. I guess it was the old leaning post. It's a mess. I may just kind of cover this with some EVA foam flooring because my cooler slides in there anyway, and then there'll be a helm pad up here, so we'll figure that out. And in the rear, I already stripped this down. My power pole pump is out. This was a mess. It was filthy, so I cleaned all this out, sprayed the bottom with purple power, let it sit, scrubbed it with a brush, and then I hit all the sides, everything with the mold and mildew. Let that sit, and it literally sprayed right off. So that's all clean, ready to go. Down in here in the fish box, I pulled the fish box. It has this big ballast tube. This thing's probably like 40 or 50 pounds. It's heavy. And it was mounted to the fish box, which made it a nightmare to get the fish box out. In fact, I have repairs to do on that. So I think what I'm going to do is take this, grind down some of this fiberglass, and put 2 strips of fiberglass over it and glass it in there over there so the fish box still clears. I'm not sure if this is aftermarket or factory. I'm guessing it was put in to counter the weight of the power pole and then the live well. We have a live well in here. This needs somebody must have dropped something, took a chunk out, so that's going to get ground down. I'll gel coat that, and we should be good there. And then we're going to do, eventually, I want to do hydraulic steering. This is mechanical steering. There's a bunch of play in the steering wheel. Like, that's just play. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do it right away because cost is adding up, but that will definitely end up getting replaced. And I'm going to do some lighting. I'm going to put an aft spreader, front spreader, stuff like that, little stuff. But I think that's the majority of the plans for the boat, other than, just really cleaning it up and getting it shining again. But everything else is pretty good. So that's about it for this. So we got a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. I'm hoping to get this done mid-April. We're at the beginning of March now. Mid-April, late April at the latest. I have most of the stuff here. I do need some of the wiring parts and electronics, batteries. We'll get into more details of that as I go through it, why I chose what I did, how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do the runs, and all that good stuff. So like I said, if something you guys are interested in, even for whether it's not the boat, we're going to get into a lot of fishing. You'll see a lot of beautiful parts of Charleston and what our fishery is like here, our crabbing, with oysters everywhere. So a lot of good stuff. Shrimping. Oh, shrimp. We're huge on shrimp here. So I just want to bring all this to you guys. Hopefully, you like the content. This will get easier as I do it, get a little smoother, and figuring out my camera setups and stuff like that. But like I said, if you like it, want to see more, subscribe, notify, and on to the next one. We're going to get into this thing really quickly. So we'll see you next time.